Okay, this slide is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Very good afternoon, my dear friends. Welcome to today's session. So this is the last class of our course, my last class regarding of this first unit, my dear friends. I hope you enjoy remaining in previous 5-day class, 5 days. Am I right? So this is the last class, and you are enjoy the session, and this is the last topic of this first unit, that is the medicinal value of the mushroom. Okay, shall we continue? This slide is visible, medicinal value of mushrooms.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then yesterday we are discussed about the what we can say, that identification of the mushrooms, and the day before yesterday, edible mushrooms and poisonous mushrooms. And before that, the classification and research stations and other related to first unit topics we are already discussed. So this is the last topic of our first unit. So our mushroom is a fleshy spore-bearing fruiting body of a fungus, belongs to Basidiomycetes class, and it is produced from the spores are germinated from the soil or on the surface of the soil also. So these, even though the mushrooms, they are grown mostly the terrestrial regions, and along with this terrestrial forest, mostly in forests also, the different mushrooms they are grown. Why the mushrooms are grown in the forest? Anybody can imagine why the mushrooms are grown in the forest? Anybody? Can you imagine? Can you express your own words? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So mostly the mushrooms are is decreased inside the forest. Why? Because the canopy of the trees does not enter the solar or sunlight in the forest. So that's why the area is very shady and moisture. So that environment is very suitable for growing of these mushrooms. Am I right? So that's why mushrooms mostly they belongs to forests. And the food of gods, the mushrooms also, Romans, they are believed, Roman Catholics, you know, the Romans, they are believed the mushrooms are food of gods. దేవతల యొక్క ఆహారంగా వాళ్ళు భావించేవారు. Then the mushrooms are delicious and nutritious and medicinal values, you know. So day before yesterday we are discussed about the mushrooms. They are edible and poisonous mushrooms, you know. So that's why these are the delicious, nutritious and medicinal source also. So we will going to discuss about how it is a nutritious, how it is a medicinal purpose use. Okay, so next slide we will going to discuss about the medicinal source of this mushrooms. And shiitake. So that is the shiitake mushroom belongs to Japan, you know. The scientific name of shiitake is Lentinula edodis. So one of the earliest species. And these mushrooms, the production of the mushroom in Nepal during what we can say that first their production in our earliest India, in Nepal, is a very suitable environment for the production of these mushrooms. Okay, and the mushroom is have large source of the nutrients, especially the essential nutrients like macro and micro elements, you know, micronutrients. Are you heard about the term micronutrients and macronutrients? CHO, NPK, CA, MGS. Okay, these are the major source of the essential elements. That's why macronutrients are micro elements. And the zinc, copper, okay, molybdenum, manganese. So these are all belongs to micronutrients, you know. So these mushrooms are high nutritional value, you know. especially the protein content. So that's why mushrooms, we can also call as single cell protein. We can also grown as a single cell protein. We are intake the food material as a single cell protein. So this is also treated as vegetarian meat. Shakahara, Mamshaharanga pilsar. Why? Because this mushroom is having the protein content more than 80%. More than 80% of the protein content is there. So that's why high amount of the protein availability in mushrooms. But the species varies from the protein content. But remember, my dear friends, anyway, the protein content is compared to other nutrients. The protein is the highest source of this mushrooms. The protein content depends on the composition of the substratum, size of the pileus, harvest time, and species of mushroom. So that's why this is varies from one species to another species. Why? Because it is based on the substratum. Whether we are using the paddy straw, whether we are using terrestrial, when we are using the log of woody trees. So these are the litter. Some of the litter is also used as the substrate. So that's why the based on the substratum protein content is varies. And also the size of the pileus. So based on the size of the pileus, protein content is also varies. And harvest time. What is the harvest time? When we are the growing season of these mushrooms is, what is the growing season? What is the cultivation season? Cultivation season of mushrooms is July to November or July to October. So this is very suitable for the cultivation of the mushroom, So along with that time, whenever we are going to cut the flushes or harvest time, it depends upon the protein content, whether we are harvesting in very earlier or very in what we can say that the highly matured stage. So that's why the protein content is varies. So 46.5 protein and dry weight based on Agaricus bisporus. So white button or button mushroom contain 46.5%. Remember, my dear friends, here, so what we are saying, the first line 70 to 83%. So more than this percent of the protein available in different mushrooms. But in dry weight of the, not the comparison of the during the cultivation time, the dry weight, the powder of the dry weight of the content of this protein content in Agaricus bisporus is 46.5%. So 46% protein and the dry weight based on the Agaricus bisporus. And remaining, so these are the percentage of the Agaricus comprestris, Agaricus arvenis, and Morchella. So Morchella esculenta, Morchella deliciosa. So these are the 30.16 related to Agaricus comprestris, 28.16%. It is visible. This slide is visible, Amma. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to follow? Right. The 28.16% related to Agaricus arvensis, then 34.7% Morchella esculenta, and 29.16% belongs to Morchella deliciosa. So these are the protein of the various mushrooms, various Agaricus species. So what you observed, Amma? So in this Agaricus bisporus or Agaricus species also, the species contain the different amount of the protein content. Am I right? Then, on dry weight of the basis of the mushroom normally contain 19 to 35% of the proteins as compared to 77.3% in rice and 12.7% in wheat. What we can say that this is the substratum, Then wheat 38.1% in soybean and 9.4% in corn. So compared to other crops like rice, wheat, and soybean and corn, protein content is higher than the crops or lower than the crops in mushrooms. Are you able to follow? Come on.
Yes, sir.
ఇప్పుడు సాధారణంగా పండే పంటలైన వరి గోధుమ సోయాబీన్ లేదా సోయా చిక్కుడు మొక్కజొన్న లాంటి వాటిలో కంటే మన పుట్టగొడుగుల్లో వీటి శాతం ఎక్కువనా తక్కువనా ప్రోటీన్ శాతం మీరు చూస్తే ఏర్పడుతుంది ఇక్కడ చూడండి
ఎక్కువ సార్
సో ద పర్సెంటేజ్ ఇస్ కంపేర్ టు crop plants or cereals or cereals like rice, wheat, and pulses like soya bean and corn. So this is also varies from the, it is also lesser amount of the protein available compared to mushroom, my dear friends. So that's why mushrooms are very rich source of the protein content. So mushroom contain all the essential amino acids required by an adult. So are you heard about the term essential amino acids? आवश्यक అమైనో ఆమ్లాల గురించి తెలుసుకున్నారా?
Yes, sir.
So lysine, okay, lysine, leucine, isoleucine, okay, these are our essential amino acids, you know, histidine, okay. So these are the amino acids, you know. So these amino acids are essential amino acids for necessary for the all the growing children, even though including adult human beings also, adult animals also. So that's why the mushroom contain the all types of the amino acids compared to other cereals or croplands. Then mushrooms, along with the proteins, the carbohydrate is also present. So the carbohydrate percent of the dry weight of the basis on the mushrooms, that is 50 to 65% of the dry weight of the basis. Then it carbohydrates mainly related to monosaccharides and disaccharides, you know. So monosaccharide related to glucose and fructose, and disaccharides like lactose, galactose, raffinose, okay, sucrose. These are all disaccharides, you know. So these monosaccharides and disaccharides, and also the amount of the protein, amount of the carbohydrate, that is amount contain the 11% of the carbohydrate. And the mannitol, are you heard about the term mannitol in your previous studies? Or if you are belongs to first year in brown algae, you know, brown algae, Phaeophyceae members in Ectocarpus. So these Phaeophyceae members, they are stored food material like mannitol, in the form of mannitol. So mannitol is nothing but alcohol, you know, the fermented carbohydrate of the Phaeophyceae members of the algae, that is mannitol. So mannitol is the stored food material of the Phaeophyceae of the algae. And the 80% of the total free sugar, remember my dear friends, and used as a sweetener for a diabetic patient's diet. So that's why these mushrooms is also very suitable for those who are diabetic. Am I right? And also the disaccharides like raffinose, sucrose, galactose, and xylulose, there are the dominant in Agaricus bisporus or white button, you know. So water-soluble polysaccharides of mushrooms are anti-tumor. Very, very important, my dear friends. It is also useful for the curing of the cancer. Because of the formation of the tumor, it is reduced or restricted. Okay, am I right? So that's why the anti-tumor agent, anti-tumor property contain of this mushroom carbohydrate. So that's why mushrooms are very useful for the human beings and high nutritive value related to carbohydrates. And mushrooms are contain the 0% of the fat, less than of the 0%. And these, if the fat content is available of the mushrooms, they are essential fatty acids, or they are useful fatty acids, and they are important fatty acids like linoleic acid and linolenic acid. So these are the unsaturated fatty acids. My dear friends, fatty acids are two types. One is the saturated fatty acids, and the second one is the unsaturated fatty acids. Knowingly or unknowingly, our human beings, they don't know, but they are intaking of the saturated fatty acids. That is very, very dangerous to our arteries and also the heart. So some of the people, they are suffering from the cardiovascular disease whenever they are eat more than the amount of the saturated fatty acids. So our body is necessary unsaturated fatty acids. Remember, my dear friends. So unsaturated fatty acids are the linoleic acid and linolenic acid. So these are the two essential fatty acids or unsaturated fatty acids. Our mushrooms are highly possessed. So that's why the rich essential fatty acids available in the mushrooms. So these mushrooms are suggested for the intake of the food material. Like which type of disease persons, Amma? Which type of persons?
Cancer.
Cardio, high BP persons, cardiovascular disease persons, you know. And previous slide shows about the anti-cancer property and also the low sugar content. That's why 80% of the free sugar, you know, see here. So 80% of the free, so that's why sugar-free content or sugar-free food material. So that's why mushrooms are very suitable for the diabetic patient. And also the heart patients and also high BP personal, hypertension persons also very suitable for suggesting for the consume of these mushrooms because of the nutritional value of the fat, that is a useful fat or that is unsaturated fatty acids. In this scenario, that is a 2.04% of the, that is a Psilus granulatus and also 3.66 that is the Psilus luteus and 2.32% Aspergillus Agaricus comprestis. I'm sorry, Agaricus comprestis. So these are mushroom contain the fat content. So these are very useful, usable and essential fat content. That is very useful. That is unsaturated fatty acids. So that's why mushrooms are suggested, are very suitable for the hypertension and also cardiovascular disease, heart problems patients are also suitable for eating the mushrooms. And along with these mushrooms, the primary metabolites like carbohydrates, proteins, and even the fats, along with the food material, along with this, the nutrition value, vitamins also available. The plenty of the vitamins, especially B complex vitamins, plenty of the vitamins are available in the mushrooms. So, and these are the best source for the B complex vitamins. Along with this vitamin B and high amount of the vitamin D2 and also D3 also there, but D2 vitamin also there now. D2, the scientific name of D2 is calciferol, you know, calciferol. So this calciferol is the scientific name of the or chemical name of the vitamin D, you know. So the vitamin D is available. The plenty of the vitamin D is present in the mushrooms. And also, one second, Sarji, ఇంటి దగ్గరే క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నా లేదు ఇక్కడే జగిత్యాల రైట్ ఓకే దెన్ along with this the vitamin D2 the dark cultivated vitamin A vitamin also present in Agaricus bisporus. So vitamin D also rich source for the Agaricus bisporus, that is a white button or button mushroom. And mushrooms also contain vitamin C. But remember, my dear friends, already C vitamins are present in only sour content, the sour taste fruits like amla, Emblica officinalis, and guava, CDM guava, you know. So Myrtaceae family, CDM guava is present, is also contain the high amount of the, compared to amla is very, compared to cost, the low cost of the fruits are the berry fruit, that is the guava, you know, CDM guava. Myrtaceae family, but amla, Emblica officinalis, belongs to Euphorbiaceae family. So this Emblica officinalis is high source of the vitamin C. But the compared to amla, guava also vitamin C, contain the vitamin C, but the cost is very low. So low cost, the high amount of the vitamin C available in guava. My dear friends, don't forget. And the mushrooms contain the very smaller amount. Why? Because the C vitamin related to the sour taste fruits are contained. And also all the citrus species contain the vitamin C. And in vitamins, A, D, E is also available, but some of the species are varies from vitamin A and D, E also. Then along with the vitamins, the minerals also there. So the minerals, especially the macronutrients or macro elements and the micro elements or micronutrients, both they are available for the consumed purpose. The mushrooms are highly available, especially the large percentage of the high percentage of the nutrients like potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and magnesium. More than 70% of the content of the mushrooms they contain. But at the same time, potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen, sodium, and magnesium, the other nutrients like calcium, magnesium, copper, zinc, so these are ferrous, molybdenum, cadmium, for minor constants, and major minerals and minor minerals. Both they are available in mushrooms. These mushrooms have been found to accumulate heavy metals like cadmium, lead, arsenic, copper, nickel, silver, chromium, and mercury. Okay, mushrooms have been found along with these minerals, some of the heavy metals, heavy metals like cadmium, lead, arsenic, copper, nickel, along with the silver also, so chromium and mercury. Okay, so these are the nutrients or heavy metals also possessed in these mushrooms. And the mineral proportion vary according to the species, age, and the diameter of the fruiting body, that is the pileus, the type of the substratum. So the mineral proportion is also vary. Why? Because the age, substratum, and the fruiting body, diameter of the fruiting body, that is the pileus or cap, and also the substratum. Based on the substratum, the minerals also varies from one species to another species. I hope you understood, Amma. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
This slide is visible. Okay. Then mineral, Amma, yesterday class and today class compared to today class is very boring, na? Why? Because yesterday class is beautiful images, but today we don't have any beautiful images, Okay, but remember, my dear friends, content is more important. Okay, am I right?
Yes,
am I
sir.
right?
Yes.
Content is more important. So that's why the mineral content of the wild edible mushrooms has been found higher than the cultivated ones. See, here is also the wild edible mushrooms also found higher than cultivated ones. So what you observe, where the widely they are growing the mushrooms, they are contained more than cultivated mushrooms. These minerals compared to cultivated mushrooms, wild mushrooms, they have high amount of the minerals, Then these minerals also used of the medicine like Neolithic and Paleolithic eras. So are you heard about the Neolithic, Paleolithic eras? Patarati Yugamu, Kotarati Yugamu, man chadukuntam chusinaru. So the Paleolithic and Neolithic era. So even though the species, human beings also, they are various. We are Homo sapiens, but before Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, okay. So these are the different scientific names we have heard. Okay, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, Neanderthal, okay, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. So our scientific name is, our human being scientific name is Homo sapiens. So from both the eras, Neolithic and Paleolithic eras, the mushrooms are widely used as a medicine. Remember, my dear friends, in China, since 100 AD, the mushrooms are used as a medicine. First in China, my dear friends. Why? Because the first mushrooms are cultivated or identified in China and Japan also. Am I right? So that's why the China, they are since 100 AD, they are used as a mushrooms as a medicine. And the mushrooms are possessed anti-allergic, anti-cholesterol, anti-tumor, and anti-cancer properties. Why we can say, how we can say? Because in previous slides, what we observed, the low cholesterol, am I right? Or zero cholesterol. So that's why it is used as anti-cholesterol and anti-tumor. So that's why the carbohydrates, the sugars are anti-tumor agent properties, So that's why they are used as anti-tumor or anti-cancer. And even though the mushrooms have been used in healthcare for treating simple and age-old common diseases like skin disease. So Are you heard about the term the study of skin disease? Dermatology. Am I right? The experts of dermatology, we can also call as dermatologists, you know. So the common diseases in age-old people, they are suffering of the skin disease. So to present day, complex and pandemic disease like AIDS. Also, my dear friends, remember, in earlier to nowadays, the mushrooms are used as a medicinal properties from skin disease to nowadays from AIDS also. And my dear friends, remember, some of our younger friends, they are going to in the research field in future. My best wishes to identify the anti-coronal properties, antiviral properties of the medicinal value in mushrooms. Better, definitely you will guard the Nobel Prize. Are you interested? Are you concerned? Are you concerned based on your ambition, your enthusiasm? Definitely moves towards the destination. My dear friends, my best wishes regarding of Nobel Prize. Are you agree or not? Are you agree or not? Nobody can respond. Today you are not respond. Why? Am I audible? Amma?
Yes, sir.
అర్థం అవుతుందా నేను చెప్పేది ఇవాళ? ఇవాళ చాలా డల్గా ఉన్నట్టున్నారు మీరు. ఎందుకు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు? ఇవి మష్రూమ్స్ ని చర్మ వ్యాధుల నుంచి మొదలుకుంటే ఎయిడ్స్ వ్యాధి వరకు కూడా మెడిసినల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఉండేటువంటి లక్షణాలు కలిగినటువంటి మష్రూమ్స్ కనుక్కున్నారు. మరి మీరేం కనుక్కోవచ్చు ఫ్యూచర్ లో? కరోనా, యాంటీ కరోనా వైరల్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ను కూడా మీరు ఐడెంటిఫై చేయొచ్చు. Is it possible or not? In the universe, in the entire earth, everything is possible if you believe. If you believe, you can, my dear friends. If you believe, you can win. Otherwise, never ever you reach the destination, my dear friends. Okay, the main components proved to be polysaccharides, especially beta D-glucans. Beta D-glucans also present in these mushrooms, and these are isolated from the shiitake fruiting bodies. Shiitake mushrooms, you know, Lentionis, Japan mushrooms, and anti-tumor polysaccharides, which was named as lentinan. So why? Because this anti-tumor polysaccharide, which has named lentinan, because the scientific name of shiitake mushroom is Lentionis, you know. So that's why the polysaccharide or secondary metabolite or the polysaccharide are the chemical component named after this discovery of these mushrooms. So that's why the name is lentinanin or lentinan. Okay. Then these mushrooms are also cure epilepsy. Are you heard about the term epilepsy? This slide is visible. Epilepsy. Epilepsy.
Yes.
So are you epilepsy? మూర్ఛ వ్యాధి అంట. మూర్ఛ కింద పడిపోతారు చూడండి. ఇట్లా నోట్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఫోమ్ వస్తుంది, చేతులు ఇట్లా గట్టిగా పట్టుకొని ఉంటారు. సినిమాలో తాళం చేతులు తీసుకుపోయి పెడతారు. మీరు గమనించి ఉండలేరా? ఎపిలెప్సీ. సో mushrooms also cure the mushrooms are cure the epilepsy and wounds whenever we are going to do our day-to-day life activities. So we are harmed or we are going to cut down on the skins or even the skin diseases. So that's why the mushrooms also cure wounds and skin diseases, even the heart ailments, and also rheumatoid arthritis. ఈ మోకాల చిప్పలు అరిగిపోయి వాళ్ళకు నడిస్తే కిర్ర చప్పుడు వస్తాయి, వాళ్ళు నడవలేరు. మీరు వృద్ధులను, ముసలి వాళ్ళను, ఏజ్ ఓల్డ్ పీపుల్ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినప్పుడు, వెన్ ఎవర్ వి ఆర్ అబ్జర్వ్ ద ఏజ్ ఓల్డ్ పీపుల్, దే ఆర్ అనేబుల్ టు మూవ్ ఫ్రీలీ లైక్ us. Why? Because they are facing the rheumatoid arthritis based on their age and also based on the what we can say that ఇవన్నీ అరిగిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. ఈ మోకాల్లో ఉండేటువంటి ఈవెన్ నీస్లో ఉండేటువంటి అవి అరిగిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. ద కార్టిలేజ్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు స్లోలీ what we can say that slow down, and the nature as also, the cartilage nature is also going to last in the knees. So that's why the age-old people, they are suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. This mushrooms is used as a treat for the rheumatoid arthritis also. So even though the cholera besides intermittent fevers and diaphoretic diarrhea, dysentery, cold, anesthesia, liver disease, gallbladder diseases, and used as vermicide. Are you heard about the term vermicide? Are you heard about the term gallbladder? So gallbladder is situated in nearest to the lobes of the liver. Liver have 4 lobes. So liver lobes, among the 4 lobes, the gallbladder is present. It is looks like a bluish green color. Pitashyam antam. So this gallbladder disease is also cured by these mushrooms. Okay, dysentery, diarrhea. Okay, in even though on underdeveloped countries, what is the underdeveloped countries? Our India is developed country or underdeveloped country? Anybody?
Developing country.
Developing country means underdeveloped country, not developed. So my grandfather and my father and myself and yourself, when our India is going to developed country? So because of our rulers are looks like, even though state government, even though central government. So we have to think over it. So the highly qualified, highly noble thoughts persons only you have to choose with our, what we can say that Vajrasana, Vajrayuda, like the casting of the vote. So vote, right to the vote is very, very important. But knowingly or unknowingly, majority of the people, they are knowingly, they are not utilized properly, So that's why our India is underdeveloped country. So that is another matter, my dear friends. In underdeveloped countries, my dear friends, I am suggesting you in future, you have to concentrate, you have to utilize your vote only properly, and highly qualified, noble thoughts and idea people you have to choose. నేను ఓటేస్తే వాడు గెలుస్తాడో గెలడో, గెలిచడానికి ఓటేస్తా, నో, నథింగ్. ఒక చదువుకున్నటువంటి విద్యార్థులు ఆలోచించకూడదు. You have to think bigger, you have to think future, you have to think not only yourself but also in future generations also. So your decision ultimately depends for the future generation also. So that's why better we have to select, or we have to elect the right persons for the future. Our India going to definitely develop nation. So the underdeveloped countries where protein malnutrition has taken epidemic proportions. My dear friends, this protein malnutrition as also carbohydrate malnutrition, also that food we can also call as a hidden hunger, hidden hunger. Kanipinchani aakali ani pilustam, hidden hunger. Why? Because they are intaking the food material, but they doesn't know which type of calories or which type of the nutrition available in that food. So that's why majority of the people in our India, or majority of the children, they are facing hidden hunger. So this protein malnutrition has taken epidemic proportions. Food FAO is situated in Rome, my dear friends. Rome. Food and Agriculture Organization is situated at Rome, and has recommended mushroom food to solve the problems of malnutrition. This malnutrition is eradicated or eliminated by the use of this mushroom as a food source, or the protein source of the food content of the all underdeveloped countries. And my dear friends, remember, even though FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, and WHO, World Health Organization, combinedly they are these eradication of the hidden hunger. They are produced, or they are presented a, what we can say that vitamin A content rice. That is a golden rice. Have you heard about term golden rice? Golden rice. So this golden rice is contain vitamin A. So beta carotene, golden rice looks like a mana talambra ala biyam etla untayo ala untayi golden rice. So golden rice looks like a yellowish polished rice, yellow or orange colored looks like a rice, looks like, and that contain vitamin A, my dear friends. Why? Because that looks like a yellow color or orange color, because the that is treated with the vitamin A, or the gene inserted, that is the beta carotene, beta carotene. Okay, then the another one is that is the manantake. That is the Gonoderma lucidum. Very, very important, in our Ganoderma inicidium. We have the explained about the first class. Very, very important. That is the manantake. That is the Ganoderma lucidium, are known as the lower blood pressure and serum cholesterol concentration of hypertensive rats. Hypertensive rats. And also the lentinus, tigrinus. Lentinus means shiitake mushroom, am I right? Shiitake mushroom or lentinus tigrinus or the Ganoderma lucidium are proved, that is anti-cholesterolmic. So that's why this is very, very important, or food source for the heart patients. And this lentinus edodas, that is shiitake mushroom, also has been used to enhance the vigor, sexuality, energy, and as an anti-aging agent in the older people. And also some of the people, they are facing some of the problems related to the age, even though the sex problems, or even though the vigor, because the age is very lower age, but they are looks like a aged persons. So that's why whenever this lentinus edodas has been used as enhance the vigor, even though energy, as in the anti-aging agent. So that's why they are looks like a young personality. And the lentinan sulfate is then the secondary metabolite. The lentinan sulfate is a biochemical compound of the lentinus species, that is shiitake mushroom. It is obtained from the lentinus species, inhibits HIV regression of the disease state. So it is also the prevent the HIV or inhibit the HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. And the another mushroom, that is the maitake. So this maitake mushroom, it is an extract, has been used, has been shown to kill HIV and enhance the activity of T helper cells. Why? Because we are discussed about T helper cells. Because HIV, human immunodeficiency, attack the blood cells, especially T lymphocytes or T helper cells. Okay, that's why. So the enhance the activity of the T lymphocytes or T helper cells. Am I right? So then the another important, that is a Ganoderma nutraceuticals, that is have been exhibited promising and antiviral effect like anti-hepatitis B. So it is very, very dangerous, hepatitis B. So hepatitis B effect in which organ in our body? Hepatitis B virus affect the which organ? Which organ? Hepatitis B affect which organ in our body? Human body especially. Liver. Very good, my dear friends. The liver. So that's why మనం పసిరికలు అంటాం చూడండి. So this hepatitis. So this hepatitis B is also then killed by the Ganoderma nutraceuticals. So that's why it is very, very important. And also this Ganoderma nutraceuticals also exhibit, that is antiviral, anti-HIV agents. And mushroom like reishi and cordyceps, enoki, miyate, and lions, and mene, and the splitting eel for cancer treatment, and also asthma, allergy treatment also. So these are the very, very important regarding of these important diseases in human beings. And the oyster mushrooms like Pleurotus tuber regium mushroom have been used
Okay, girls, wait for few minutes. Okay. I think network issue is there. హలో సార్, లెఫ్ట్ అయిపోయారు. హలో సార్, నేను మంజుల. ఓకే ఓకే సార్. గర్ల్స్ వెయిట్, సార్ విల్ జాయిన్. Just wait for 5 minutes. Sir will join. Okay.
Audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Amma. Sorry for the interruption due to the internet problem. I rejoin. Okay, so this slide is visible, my dear dosto. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Pleurotus soger kaju has been found to be inductive for growth of probiotic bacteria.
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sorry for the disturbance.
Madam.
Sir, I have one meeting is there in 4 o'clock. Please inform. Tomorrow is the one writing the exam. Inform, sir. You only inform in my school.
Okay. Okay, my dear friends, one of the important note regarding of this first unit, you will be going to attend first assignment test. Better you have to concentrate what you learned in these 6 days. That is reflect tomorrow's first assignment. Be ready. I hope you enjoy the assignment also, because very suitable, very easy questions you will be seen tomorrow. So all the students, you should attempt the first assignment exam tomorrow. Okay, I will send in your WhatsApp group also. Don't worry, in our WhatsApp group, mushroom group is there now. WhatsApp group, mushroom cultivation certificate course. In that group we will post. Then, am I okay, madam? Okay, then. So, are you heard about term probiotic? Probiotic bacteria is nothing but lactic acid bacteria. Best example, when you are intaking the curd is having the lactobacillus is a bacteria which is used as a probiotic. Okay, so that is very, very important for the boost the immune system, and also the alimentary canal activeness of the activation of the digestion tract, and also boost the immune system. That is very, very important. Then the next one is the Cordyceps sinensis, also treated as half caterpillar and half mushroom, has been known and used for many centuries in traditional Chinese medicine. So this Cordyceps sinensis is treated as half caterpillar and half mushroom. This is the common name for this Cordyceps sinensis. Okay, this has been known and used for many centuries in traditional Chinese medicine. And Cordyceps has been used to induce restful sleep, acts as anti-cancer, anti-aging, anti-asthma agents, besides proved effective for memory improvement. My dear friends, today we are heard the term, sorry sir, sorry madam, I forgot, I forget. These are the important complaints we are observed in day-to-day life activities in our home, in our classroom purpose, and also our day-to-day life activities. So that's why the improvement of the memory, also this Cordyceps is useful. And also the problems of the sexual related to rejuvenator. And PSK, an anti-cancer drug for the mushroom. PSK means polysaccharide complex. So this PSK with immune stimulating effect also. Immune stimulating effect. So then another important area, that is antioxidant activity. So antioxidant activity is very, very important for the immune system, and also it is kill the free radicals of our internal physiology, or internal systems, or different systems, our physiology. So these antioxidants are chemical compounds that protect cells from the damage caused by unstable molecules. We can call as free radicals. We have already discussed, free radicals. So the antioxidants are capable randomly damaging all components of the body. Whenever the free radicals, they are going to damage, even though lipids, proteins, DNA, sugars, and are involved in mutations and cancers when free radicals are more. So that's why we, our experts and health experts and nutritionists and dietitians, they are suggested that those who have the vegetables of their dish of the either the dinner time or even the lunch time, so many vegetables, antioxidant properties vegetables you should take, then only you have to protect from the some of the health issues. And this overproduction of free radicals create oxidative stress. So this is very, very important. Then Waxy-cap mushroom extract, that is also the scientific name of Waxy-cap mushroom, that is Hygrocybe coccinea, are inhibitory to sarcoma. Sarcoma is the cancer, So the sarcoma is connected with muscles, and also the what we can say that connective tissues, muscles and connective tissues. The area of cancer we can call as the sarcoma. So this sarcoma is inhibited by this Hygrocybe coccinea mushroom. The isolated from more than 30 mushroom species have shown anti-cancer action in animals. Amma, you frankly say, in this today's class, how many times cancer, anti-cancer, cancer, anti-tumor, tumor, you heard or not? So that's why, remember my dear friends, why? Because these mushrooms have antioxidants, more than antioxidants, or chemical compounds are there that is kill the free radicals. Okay, then Schizophyllum, that is another mushroom, commune, is effective against head and neck cancer. So some of the people, they are facing head and neck cancer, that is effective medicine, that is the Schizophylla commune. That is the medicine is Schizophyllon, is a medicine for the anti-cancer related to the part of the head and neck parts. Then the tyrosinase. Tyrosinase, have you heard about tyrosinase? Is an enzyme, it is an oxygen from Agaricus bisporus, white button. And the camptothecin is responsible for antioxidant properties in Ganoderma lucidium. Then, before going to conclude, I am going to acknowledge our honorable principal of the chair, Dr. J. Achita Devi Madam Garu, patron of our 1 month mushroom cultivation course, certification course, RBVR Women's College, and my best wishes, and also thanks to coordinator of convener of this wonderful course, Dr. Rajni Aluru Madam Garu, Head Department of Botany and Food and Nutrition, RBVR Women's College, and Dr. Veena Dari Madam, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Sardar Patel College. She is also a resource person of this wonderful course. And Dr. A. Kavita Madam Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Food and Nutrition, RBVR Women's College. And Dr. P. Vani Madam Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany and Food and Nutrition, RBVR Women's College. And my special thanks to the organizing committee. And today, and this first unit, every day coordinate the session by Dr. P. Manjula Madam Garu. I am express my special thanks to you for cooperate and coordinate the session without any interruption. and also my best wishes to entire team for conducting of this wonderful certificate course, RBVRR Women's College, Hyderabad, Department of Body, Food and Nutrition. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. If you have any doubt, please ask me. So this is my Sacred College, Government Degree College for Women, Jagitya. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Any doubt, Amma?
Yes.
No doubt. Okay, Amma. Okay. Madam, shall I stop the session today? Madam is not there. Okay. Amma, anybody respond? May I leave the session? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Sir, ma'am is there in the session, sir.